Good evening. These are dark times indeed. Much trouble brews across the folded continents. While the dwarves of the Whiskered Tool fight a bloody war against the goblins, a self-proclaimed mage queen builds an unholy army to snuff out her necromancer rivals. As war threatens the major settlements, many peasants from dwarven and human lands have fled into the frontier, hoping to lay low. Tonight, a small band of settlers, dwarf and human alike, head far to the north, farther than anyone else has ever dared tread. These fearless few invade the Lonely Frost, a terrifying tundra, cursed by ancient magics. It's said that unnatural horrors will haunt any living creature that trespasses in this place. But still the settlers come, driven by tales of great buried wealth deep beneath the permafrost. Should they survive the freezing cold and the vile magics, untold riches await them. And the group is not entirely defenseless. 3 adventurers have escorted the 7 settlers into this strange land. 2 hail from the human civilization, the Union of Kegs. Kesp, a human huntress, and Muck, a human swordsman, have ridden in on horseback, along with their friend, the dwarven farmer Melville. Melville, as well as the other 7 dwarves, come from the Whiskered Tool to the south. This group calls itself the Hardy Chills. These 8 dwarves and 2 humans prepare to build their homestead in this hostile land. This place shall be called Aishol Einen, Frigidhill. Strike the earth. The wagon comes to a halt on top of a small plateau. An expanse of clay and rock stretches as far as the eye can see. Now that we're here, we'll have to move very fast. Already we can see massive, foul creatures flying in the distance. We need shelter, now. If we're going to get our supplies underground, we'll need to use a risky strategy. We're going to cause a cave-in directly underneath our wagon. By carefully digging under the wagon, we can cause the earth to collapse, sending all of our supplies below ground. Then, all we need to do is put a roof over the hole, and all of our supplies will be secure. The miners are digging fast. Here we go. Success! The wagon smashed through the clay, and all of our supplies are safely underground. Though a few animals were caught in the cave-in. One dwarf is merely unconscious, but this horse was severely hurt. It might not survive. We need to act quickly. Leaving corpses out in a place like this is dangerous. They might not stay dead for long. Damn, the beast died, and before we have a chance to secure the corpse, it begins to shudder. The corpse has been reanimated by the malevolent forces of the evil tundra, and now thirsts for blood. Evacuate, everyone out of the pit. The horse corpse slowly climbs up. We have to send that creature back to the land of the dead. Everyone piles on. Dwarves, humans, even our pet dogs and live horses are all beating the snot out of this monstrous mare. And down it goes. No one else was killed, yet. Though our broker, Uvash Luslemeleth, was pretty heavily wounded. She might not make it. Alright, quickly now, we're digging a shallow grave for the horse's corpse. Damn, the broker just died. Into the hole she goes as well. Now we'll seal that up with some wood. Whew, the bodies are trapped inside. Those particular corpses won't be giving us any more trouble. It's a rather unceremonious burial, but we are quite strapped for time at the moment. Those flying things are getting closer. We can see them more clearly now. It looks like we're dealing with undead giant ravens. We need to get underground, now. We are using up more of our wood to cover up the pit before the birds get here. Since there's no lumber on the surface, it's rather unfortunate that we're wasting so much wood on this, but we don't have time to find other building materials. Our people are working fast, that's good. As we work to roof over the pit, we hear sounds coming from the shallow grave. Looks like our broker is up and about again. We'd best leave her be. And the hole is sealed. Our 3 adventurers left some equipment topside. Let's try and bring it down as well. That's just going to have to do. We're sealing the entrance. Whew. The giant ravens are going to have to find another meal today. We are safe underground. Well, kind of. Actually, things are still rather dire. There's no grass in the tundra, so our grazing animals are liable to starve to death. We really don't need to deal with more zombie horses right now. We also don't have a source of food yet. Luckily, we do have a source of water. There's a light aquifer right under us. We've dug some holes into the aquifer, which should fill up with water and help keep us from dying of thirst. Of course, the aquifer comes with its own problems. Water is currently trickling into our deeper tunnels, and if we let it fill indefinitely, it could start causing bigger flooding problems. But we can handle this. We didn't come all this way just to drown underground. First things first, we need a farm. Our miners dig out a space, and our farmers get to work planting. We'll have our first harvest in no time. And it looks like those aquifer taps are working just fine. The whole fortress is drinking their fill. Our dwarves are none too happy about drinking water from a dirty hole in the mud, but it'll keep them alive until we've got a more permanent solution. Next, plugging the rest of the aquifer. We need to secure the staircase by lining the walls with solid stone. That'll keep the aquifer water from leaking through and flooding the fortress. The dwarves are working hard, filling in the leaks. Looks like the aquifer is about 3 layers deep. Almost there. There we are. The aquifer is sealed. Now we won't have to worry about flooding. But of course, we aren't out of the woods yet. Our horses are getting hungry. We need to find food for them and fast. Our miners are digging a tunnel downwards, in hopes of finding a cavern full of fungal cave grasses. It's now summer, but we found a cavern. Good work, miners. But there isn't any fungus in this cave. It's completely dry. This won't help keep our animals alive. This is all taking too long. Those animals could snuff it at any time. We need to get started on a plan B. First, let's lock the 3 remaining horses away in a small room. These are the horses those 3 adventurers rode in on. Locking them in a dirt tunnel to starve to death may seem cruel, but there's nothing we can do. We just can't afford to have a herd of zombie horses running around in here. We also brought 2 reindeer and a camel. All of them have got to go. But since they aren't anyone's pets, we can actually get something useful from their deaths. We've set up a butcher's shop so we can slaughter the remaining grazers. There's the camel slaughtered, and one of the reindeer. We expected this. The reindeer's hide has been reanimated. Luckily, we set up some cage traps specifically for this occasion. The reanimated flesh is safely caged away. We butcher the last reindeer, and collect a few more reanimated animal skins in cage traps. There we are. Finally, all the immediate threats have been dealt with. No one is about to starve, die of thirst, be killed by zombie livestock, or get carried off by an undead giant raven. Finally, we can take a breath. Make no mistake, there's still much to be done. It's been over a season, and we still haven't really gotten to work on the fortress proper. But now that we're safe underground, the dwarves can focus on making a real homestead here. The tundra is a cold and dangerous place, but there's warmth to be found deep below the earth. These dwarves and their human allies may yet build a great settlement here, and show that the bonds of friendship between our peoples can overcome any challenge. But it's getting late, and I must retire. Come find me again some other night to hear more tales of Frigidhill and its hardy citizens.